Welcome to BS Draftcast, where we are Brandon and Steven, and we are back at you with another week of NFL coverage. And today we're going to sprinkle in a little college football, considering that today's a big day for a lot of teams, and the slate is set. The 12 teams are set. Ashton Genty had a showing yesterday. They picked up a win yesterday, so hey, let's have a good day and a good weekend of football, man. We got some awesome matchups this weekend, today in college football. But as always, I got my man Steven on the other line. Steven, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, doing good. Just ready to talk some football, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, before we dive right into the NFL slate, let's dive right into the little bit of college football. You have the opening game is the Iowa State Cyclones versus Arizona State Sun Devils, which it is what it is. But the big one, Georgia versus Texas, dude. Uh, it's gonna be interesting. Gonna be obviously Georgia pure domination that first game. I know me and you were texting during it. Georgia looked like that team that was unstoppable, and then 2 weeks later they lose to Old Miss and can't move the ball. Georgia fought a hard battle this past weekend against Georgia Tech. Damn near lost. I don't know what the hell was going on. They went to like 7 or 8 overtimes, which was a wild watch. But and then obviously you got Clemson, LSU, and you got Penn State and Oregon. So you got three really big games for this college football, and I mean honestly, I don't see a world where Penn State loses. Dude, I don't know. I mean, I know Georgia struggled against unranked teams, just kind of like Bama has, but it seems like these games where where they're playing a top ranked team, they just come out and decimate them. Any thoughts on any thoughts on this Georgia Texas game? If you see anything, do you think Texas can pull out the win? Do you see Georgia winning in dominant fashion again?
If Georgia's going to win, they're going to have to win off of the back of their defense. I mean, Carson Beck has looked.
Bad,
He's not looked good, man. He's not looked
look
good.
bad.
He's been turning the ball over at a high clip. Like he's not making the throws that people are accustomed to seeing him make. He's just not playing well. So Georgia, their defense is just going to have to do what they do. Like you said, they've been like just up and down as a team this whole season. Um, and then for Texas, when we were texting about that game when they played the first time, it was like, dude, what is like Texas got the shit kicked out of them. So I don't know if Kirby has Sark's number or what, man. But yeah, couldn't they couldn't do nothing.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, the offense did not look like the offense that we were used to. That's for damn sure. And I mean, there's some first round matchups too coming in. Like, I mean, you got Tennessee versus Ohio State. You got Arizona versus Penn State. Like, I mean, and I'm sorry, you got Alabama versus Notre Dame. I mean, there's some key matchups going into this, dude. That I mean, it's just I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, obviously as a Bama fan, I hope that I hope that it I hope that Bama comes out in dominant fashion and wins. But I mean, hey, it's hard to tell, man. College football's been wild this year. That's for damn sure.
It really has. Yeah, it really has.
I know, like I said, Boise State got that win yesterday. Um, so Ashton Genty on the move. I think Boise they punched their bid I'm not too sure exactly how the college football shit works, but I'm pretty sure they punched their bid and they are basically waiting the results of these other games to play out, and they'll get whatever seed they are. It'll go off of seeding. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, but yeah, man, I'm excited for some good college football. I'll definitely be watching that Georgia Texas, and then I'll be watching that Penn State Oregon game.
Yeah, both really good games.
Penn State Oregon game, I just don't think there's a world that Penn State loses. I mean, the Oregon Ducks lose. I don't think there's a world that they lose in. Honestly, I mean, it's messed up to say that. I guess. I mean, any team can be beaten at any time, but I just Penn State can't win the big game, man, and I don't trust Penn State's head coach. I know a lot of these fans call for his job because he cannot win a big game. But hey, if he comes out and looks on the Ducks, maybe he has a chance to save his job. I
Yeah, they
mean,
have a lot of talent on that team for Penn State, man. They got a lot of talent. It's just
yeah, they
you
definitely
know,
do
putting it
have a
together. I
ton of
really like their
talent.
quarterback. He's young, Drew Aller, but
Yeah, right.
I like Singleton. You know, they got some weapons over there, Penn State, man. So anything's possible, but it's just what team are you gonna get?
Oregon's been rolling, man. Oregon has been rolling.
Oregon's been Oregon's been playing really good ball, man. I watched a few of their games this year, and they're they get it done, dude. Like they get it done week after week, and sometimes just like dominant fashion. You know what I mean? But I really like their running back Jordan James, man. I really like him.
Yeah,
He's a hammer, dude. He's fun to watch.
right. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. All right. Well, that's a little bit of college football coverage. Uh, Obviously, we haven't dove too much into college football, but I will say I am going to take the Georgia Bulldogs +3, and I'm going to take the Oregon Ducks -3. So, if you want to put bets in, those are the two bets for college football I'm taking. I don't know, man. Kirby wakes his guys up and they get ready to play whenever it comes time to play these big games. And I don't think Kirby wants to miss out on a chance at that national title shot. They got a tall task in front of them against #2 ranked Texas, but I think Kirby Smart's gonna have that number, dude. Shut that Texas potent offense down.
Dude, I think that they need to put a mercy rule in college football. I'm serious, man. Like the way
There
like
are some
Indiana's
games.
dog walk Purdue 66-0, dude. Like at that point, what do you do?
There are
Like if you're
some
the other
games,
team,
dude.
you know what I mean? Like if you're Purdue in that situation and Indiana is just racking up points. You know what I mean? Like you don't even want to be there. Like it's deflating. Like any bit of confidence you had's gone. You're not getting laid. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah, it's bad.
I don't know.
I mean, why would you want to step back on the field?
I wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, why would you even want to go back out there, dude? Like just watching this, he just beat the balls off you every freaking drive. It's like, man, I'm not, coach. I'm just gonna go in the locker room or something. You know, like there needs to be a
Yeah.
damn mercy rule. They get to 40 or something.
I did. I
All
get
right.
it. I get it. It's bad. I mean, there's some bad games, really bad games. I mean, look at
I'd wear my
Washington.
helmet all the way up, like all the like bus ride home, like out. Shit, I would. I'd be so embarrassed, dude. I'd
Oh,
be
that's too
wearing my helmet
funny.
with my visor all blacked out, dude. Yeah, I wouldn't be. No,
That's too funny.
I'd be out there like Ricky Williams, dude.
Oh shoot. Oh, that's good stuff. All right. Well, let's roll right into the NFL, man. First game up, we got the Falcons versus the Vikings. The Vikings have been winning, but the Vikings they seem to be sputtering. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we're not even talking about the Lions Packers game. I don't even want to. Lions won. They moved to 12-1. All-star player was the referees of that game. That's what I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, and we've been pounding the table for the Lions and MCDC and everything for for a while now. I mean,
Hey, There's our boy. Our boy broke knees is in here. All right, D Wade.
Uh-oh.
Westbrook over Garrett tomorrow, and Braylon top 10 this week.
You talking about Westbrook Akine?
I'm assuming who's been popping off the past couple weeks.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I don't know where the hell he came from, but yeah, he's been playing.
He said he landed on a different playoff name though. His playoff name is Punch It in the Bijan.
Pop put it in the Bijan.
Punch It in the Bijan. What the hell? That's funny
I love
as
it.
shit. That's
That is.
awesome. So Kine over Garrett. Bro, it is so hard for me to even say like go against Garrett Wilson because like he's played so well this year. And like I think it's been like 2 weeks in a row he's played like he hasn't done much.
Yeah, and I mean, last
5
week
for
he
41.
still had 5 catches, but still.
Yeah, 5 catches on 10 targets. Like he's getting targets, he's just not catching the damn ball.
Yeah, the Jets just suck. I mean, if you did do that, I can't say that I would blame you.
Right.
Just
yeah, Westbrook
because.
Akine, I mean, it seems like Mean Boy is really like honing in on him. And it seems like Westbrook Akine every week has had like a big touchdown.
Yeah, he's been a big play just waiting to happen.
I mean, he had 2 tuds last week. I mean, I don't think that's a bad play, honestly, D Wade. I don't think benching Garrett for Westbrook Akine is a terrible play. They have their matchup. They have the Jaguars. Oh, dude, I would take that, honestly. Because honestly, if you think about it, the Jets are the Dolphins, and I would assume Jalen Ramsey's going to kind of shadow Garrett. Maybe. I mean, that's the only bright spot they have was at corner, so they're going to have to pick and choose. I would rather cover Garrett Wilson than Devontae because Devontae has a case of the drop. So, yeah, I don't think that's a bad move, honestly. I would roll with it. And you said Braylon top 10 this week. You're asking. Braylon
Yeah, because
Allen.
Brees Hall's out. He's doubtful, so
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
He could be a really good start. I really like Braylon Allen. He has a lot of potential.
And he's a hammer. My
He's a
fear is
hammer.
are they gonna split carries with Isaiah Davis?
Dude, I hope not. Just let the young man go out there and pound the rock, dude.
Right. I agree with you 100%. I'm a fan of Braylon Allen, like you said. Like he's a hammer. He runs hard every play. Like even whenever he's come in for Brees, like he's ran the ball very well.
Yeah, I loved him coming out of Wisconsin. Yeah, he's very talented. Man, he's deceptively fast.
I think
for being as big as he is.
Top 10. You obviously got Saquon. I would throw Tyron Tracy up there because that's all that offense has. I would throw Bijan and Aaron Jones up there. I could see Braylon being top 10, looking at the lineups, the slate this weekend.
Mm.
Yeah, I could see him. I could see him being top 10, 100%. All right. Yeah, it's broke knees. We appreciate you diving in, bro. I wanted to I know it's been tough. Like a lot of people want to be here for the late live. And my work schedule, unfortunately, they got us work at 6-7 days, and I've been on afternoon shift 3 to 11, so it's tough to do the late lives. Obviously, I can't really go live while I'm at work and sit here and do a podcast for 2 hours with Steven while I'm sitting at work. So I put that post out on the TikToks, letting everyone know that we are going to be live in the morning. Hopefully, some people seen it and they jump in. We have gotten some likes and shares and shit, so we appreciate everyone. Falcons Vikings, man, right back into it. The Vikings have been winning, but they haven't been winning like where we've been accustomed to. The offense has been very stagnant. I mean, it's been close game after close game after close game. I mean, You barely beat the Jaguars. You beat the Titans by 10. You squeak one out against the Bears, and you just barely beat the Cardinals. So for this line to be 6 points, is kind of terrifying. Kirk Cousins had an absolute horrendous game last week. Bad. What do you have? 3 interceptions, and one of them was a pick six.
I think he had 4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay, stand corrected.
Yeah, I think he had 4 interceptions last week.
And they're in Minnesota. Okay. I did say last week that if Minnesota doesn't cover the spread, they're banned. So I'm not going to touch them this week. I do kind of like the over/under on this. I like the over 45. That's not a bad mark. Both these teams can definitely score. Any key injuries in this game, Steven?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked at this one yet. Yeah, Stephon Gilmore is out for the Minnesota Vikings, so that's a pretty big blow. Patrick Jones is still dealing with that knee injury. Van
I'll
Ginkel,
ask you. Said I'll answer in one second. Let us cover this game. We'll answer that. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
yeah, Van Ginkel's also pretty he's questionable. He's banged up too. So a couple significant injuries for the Vikings, possibly, and then the Falcons. They're pretty healthy.
Okay. All right. Seth asked, do we think that K9 plays tomorrow? I didn't know he was on the injury. Oh, I guess he is questionable. I didn't realize he was questionable. Ankle and calf injury. Okay. I know he's had that injury like a couple weeks, and it hasn't really deterred. But this is saying they're not sure on his status. Okay, so
Yeah,
he's actually questionable.
yeah. It says he was limited in Wednesday's practice and then got downgraded to did not participate on Thursday and Friday, which usually is
Not a good
not a
sign.
great sign. Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
truly questionable.
Yeah, that's one of them ones that I would really pay attention if you're really banking on him. Said I would really watch all the way up till like 12:30 to see which. Oh, they're in a late window. Okay, so yeah, you have a lot of time. But honestly, it may be one of them circumstances where you got to make a decision at 1 o'clock to bench him because your other running backs will play at 1 o'clock. So if that's the situation you're in, I would check around 12:30, see if there's an injury update on him, and go off of that and see. I didn't realize he was actually questionable. Like that's an actual true questionable. With this Vikings and Falcons, the Falcons have been abysmal. Dude, they just been so bad, and we talk about it every week. I mean, we thought they were gonna get rolling. They won a couple in a row, then they lost. They got absolutely destroyed by the Seahawks, and they won a couple in a row, and then they've lost the last 3. I mean, the Broncos absolutely decimated them. Matthew, are you trolling right now? Tom Brady, a good or bad pickup? I mean, if you're trolling, that's hilarious. But I don't think Tom Brady's coming out of that booth, dog. um, but yeah, man, I think the chart, and the crazy part is, yeah, you're right. 4 interceptions, and they still only lost by 4 points against the Chargers. I mean, that just goes to show that Chargers couldn't move the ball either. So, man, I don't know about this Falcons team. I really don't. Matthew said he's gonna sign with the Giants and go crazy. If Tom Brady was gonna sign somewhere, he would definitely be signing to a team that was walking into the playoffs.
Hell, he probably go to the Vikings.
Yeah, right. Um, What's your thoughts of this game? I mean, I don't see any world that the Vikings lose. I think they win. I think Justin Jefferson finally gets back in the end zone because it's been weeks without him being in the end zone.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. The Vikings aren't doing bad through the air. They just need to get something going on the ground. Um, like they got good averages, but just as a whole, just haven't been able to really get the running game consistently going. Um, so I think Minnesota needs to get that going for them. Obviously they got a couple, injuries that are possibly significant, but I think the Vikings end up winning this game. I don't know what's wrong with the Falcons, to be honest with you. There's no excuse really for them to be just so discombobulated offensively like they are. I mean, defense, we thought the question with them was going to be their defense, but their offense hasn't been playing well consistently either. So
Right.
I'm going to go with the
I agree.
Vikings in this game.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to point out, like you said, the running game. They ran the ball 13 times, and Sam Darnold had 22 yards, Cam Akers had 22 yards, and Aaron Jones had 22 yards. Like I don't know, man. I don't know how you only run the ball 13 times in a game. It's kind of wild. And your
Yeah,
quarterback
Sam's
only
still
threw.
playing well.
Yeah, and he only threw the ball 31 times. Like if you
Mhm.
seen a stat like that, you would think he threw for like 50 attempts, but he didn't.
Right.
But my biggest thing with this game that I fear is Kirk Cousins, Minnesota. Uh, I mean, kind of like a going back home type of deal, and I don't know. Maybe Kirk shows out.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, that's the thing with the Falcons. Like that could happen at any
yes,
given time if
100%,
they're clicking, And
100%.
I mean, I don't know, Aaron Jones with the damn fumbles too. You know what I mean? Like
Oh my
that could
God, yeah.
be costly against a team like the Falcons if their offense is clicking. So you
If
take
you look
care
at
of the
it,
rock.
the couple games that they strung together to win, you notice who was involved in those games? Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, yeah, he fell off.
The games where they've gotten nuked on, Kyle Pitts is non-existent. I don't. I mean, I don't know if it's an offensive coordinator situation. I don't know what it is. But when Ray McClown is your leading receiver with 4 catches and 95 yards, you have a problem.
Yeah,
Especially when you have the offense that you have. I mean, let's just be honest.
exactly. Yeah, there's no excuse for the Falcons right now. There just isn't.
Like I could understand if they were losing games like the Bengals are. If they're losing games by field goals, touchdowns, and there's points being put, I can understand it. Like you mentioned earlier, the defense was the point that we thought was going to be an issue, but they're not. Like they're not even scoring points.
No.
Yeah, I agree with you. That I don't think the Vikings lose this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. If Kirk Cousins comes out and balls out, man, I don't. I really wouldn't be surprised.
No, me neither.
Matthew, thank you for the follow, brother. I appreciate that. Lucas James, he said, I can start 3 and sit the rest. Okay, so we need to pick 3. God damn, this is a big list. All right, so you got Tyreek, Mike Evans, T. Higgins, CeeDee Lamb, Kenneth Walker, Cooper Kupp. All right, well, Kenneth Walker is truly questionable, so I'm just going to put him on the bench.
Hmm.
I don't like. I'm not a big fan of Tyreek against the Jets, but the Jets' defense hasn't been that great either, so that might be a. I'm definitely putting Mike Evans in there. Mike Evans needs to average right around 100 yards a game to keep his 1,000-yard receiving streak alive, and I think that Tampa's going to try and get that for him. They love Mike Evans down there, and I really think they're going to try and get that, and I think he has a big day against the Raiders. So Mike Evans is definitely in there. Who else we got?
I'm trying
CD
to.
versus the Bengals. Ooh, wait a minute. I think I have my 3. He said Tyreek and CD, or not. He said T Higgins and CD. Dude, I might go Mike Evans, T Higgins, and CD Lamb. Two piss poor defenses on Monday Night Football that just might light up the field.
Yeah, I read an article earlier that Mike Evans is banged up. I'm trying to see if he's going to play. But I agree with you. I do. I agree with you. I'm just trying to figure out if he's playing or not.
Calf injury for Mike Evans 2 days ago.
Okay, Tampa Bay projects to have him, Tristan Wirfs, and Bucky Irving available this game. So
Okay.
sounds like he's playing. So yeah, I'm with Brandon on that. Yeah, you got to take advantage of those weak matchups they're going against.
Yeah, I'm taking Mike Evans. I'm taking T Higgins against, because obviously they can't cover Jamar Chase and T Higgins, so I'm gonna lean on T Higgins to have another big day, and then CD Lamb against that piss poor Bengals defense.
I can see both Bengals receivers popping off, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree, and I can see CD going off because the Bengals defense is just ass.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So that's what I would go with as well.
I seen that list at first, and I was like, oh no, I was like, it's gonna be hard, and I was like, wait a minute, let me look at these matches real quick.
He said McConkey was one of his too, right?
No, Cooper Cup, Kenneth Walker, Tyreek.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say that McConkey's banged up as well. Just
He got hurt twice last game.
yeah, he's been struggling with a shoulder injury. I mean, he still had a hell of a game, but it's still bothering him.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with Brandon on that one. Those are the three I'd go with.
All right. Giants and Saints. I don't have much to say. Giants look like shit. Giants are shit. Um, Saints don't lose this game, by any means. You're gonna see a heavy dosage of Tyrone Tracy. Obviously, it's just where the Giants are at. Um, I would be worried from a fantasy standpoint. If you have Derek Carr, if you want to use Derek Carr, oh, never mind. Taysom Hill is on IR. Never mind.
Yep.
So you're gonna see Derek Carr all game at least.
Yeah, and they got. I mean, Malik Neighbors is questionable. Deontay Banks is out. Their young promising corner, and Bobby Okereke, their stud linebacker's out. So the Giants are they're just in a bad way, dude.
Our boy Evan Neal's questionable. I know that's could be a big blow for that offensive line.
Somebody trying to kick him inside the guard or something. God dang.
Just get him out. Get him
All
out.
that talent. All that talent.
Freak athlete. Freak athlete.
I think he's one of those players though. We were talking about them always being bigger, stronger, and faster than everyone. Then he gets to the league, and everybody's just as big, just as fast, just as strong as he is. You know, so I think he's one of those guys, man.
I mean, I agree with you. It's shitty, but I agree with you, man. Like, but he has so much speed and talent that it's terrifying. Like, I don't understand how you can't use.
He needs an offensive line coach that's going to teach him technique and especially hand placement and getting off the snap, because sometimes he's late getting off the snap and he just gets burnt, and then when he goes to make his punch, they just go underneath of him. He's a barn door. I hate to say it. I love Evan Neal, but yeah, hopefully he needs to get out of New York.
Yeah, I agree. He does need to get out of New York. Bad. It's just not good there.
I'll see him. Yeah, Baltimore 7th round pick. We need a guard.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad move for him to come to Baltimore.
He can't play any worse than Daniel Faalele, so I mean,
Why not? Take a shot,
Yeah, I would like to see him go somewhere though, for real, and hopefully get better at his craft, learn the techniques a little better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think that he needs I think he needs to go to somewhere that has like a strong offensive line coach. And honestly, Baltimore wouldn't be a bad place. I honestly truly don't think. even if he doesn't play right off the rip. You know what I mean? Like I think that he could be a a benefit. Just go somewhere with a strong offensive line coach. I mean, and I think that they can hone him in and he could be good. But just a matter of it getting done, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we on the same page. Saints, they're not losing it.
No, no, I think Saints beat the Giants for sure.
All right, Texans and Jaguars. This could be an interesting game. I think that this is one of them games where people get high hopes for um, Will Levis because of how bad the Jaguars are. I think it's going to be like that false hope type of deal. Because let's be honest, man. Will Levis hasn't done anything this year to show anything, to me at least. Um, they just got absolutely nuked on by Jaden Daniels and Commanders. I mean, every time the ticker popped up at the bottom of the screen, it said touchdown Commanders.
Hmm.
It was bad, man.
The Commanders
Um,
needed that.
yes, they did, and I'm glad you mentioned that. They definitely needed that, and the Commanders don't have a game this week, so we'll just dive right into the Commanders. The Commanders needed that big, dominant win. Granted, yes, it was over the Titans, whatever, but you ran into a juggernaut in the Eagles. You ran into a good team in the Steelers, and then you lost to the Cowboys. Like you guys need to win in dominant fashion to maybe get back on track. And I think, like you said, that was definitely a big win for them. Keep pace and try and get into the playoffs. And I think it really boosted Jaden Daniels as well because he had an excellent game. Yeah, he had the turnover, but he had an excellent game passing the ball. And the run game was going off. I mean, Rodriguez had 94 yards. B Rob had 103. I mean, it was it was a very Commander esque game that we were used to in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and I can see looking at the injury report here, some pretty significant injuries for the Titans. I mean, they're listed as questionable, but even then, they're still banged up. Jerome Baker, linebacker, questionable. Roger McCreary, questionable. Kenneth Murray, questionable. And big one, Tavondre Sweat is questionable. The big nose tackle there in the middle, plugging up the run. And yeah, him and Kenneth Murray, man, those are two big blows to their possibly stopping the run game too. So we could see a big game on the ground from the Jaguars, which I think they're gonna run. Like
I mean, yeah, Mac Jones has shown that he's still
yeah,
Mac Jones. He didn't have the Sam Darnold resurgence. Let's just say that.
yeah, and the Jaguars, Tyson Campbell, the number one corner, he's questionable with a thigh injury, so that could help the whole Westbrook Akine deal we were talking about earlier. But the Jaguars, I want to say something about the Jaguars. So everybody's seeing it with the injury to Trevor Lawrence. Last week before this, when we were on the podcast, me and Brandon talked about it, and I said, do you think they should shut Trevor Lawrence down for the year? It's a lost year. It's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he may need surgery on his non-throwing shoulder. Maybe just shut him down. Maybe he gets the surgery, and then he's full go for training camp. You know what I mean? Why risk your young quarterback that you paid a lot of money? And just have Mac Jones go out there, tank, get a top 5 pick or whatever, and go about your business. You know what I mean? And they trotted Trevor Lawrence out there. Trevor Lawrence goes to scramble, and he gets his head knocked off by Jair. So, Brandon, why would you put the guy who you look at as the face of your franchise out there who's already banged up, possibly needs surgery on his non-throwing shoulder, and it's a lost season? Why would you put him out there?
I I don't know. Obviously, no one and we can't predict injuries and what's going to happen. And it was
No.
a very unfortunate hit of what happened on that play. Slow motion looks a lot worse. We're not going to go into that. It's one of them things that's back and forth, back and forth. But I agree with you. Especially someone that's already backed up. It's not like even if they went on a run, they couldn't get in the playoffs. Their season was done. I know nobody wants to lose out or anything, and I know the whole word tanking, and nobody actually wants to do that. I mean, there may be some teams, but like he's already banged up, like you said, with his non-throwing shoulder. So it doesn't make sense to me why. It's kind of like last year whenever the Chargers head coach got Mike Williams hurt. Um,
Hmm.
it's just it was stupid, and kind of like Tampa having their players out there, and their receivers get hurt. Like
Yeah.
it's just the game's over, the season's over, whatever you want to call it. There's no reason to take a chance. And I get it. These players are paid to do their job, and I understand that. But if that is your franchise, then why take the chance? Why take the risk? Uh,
See, that's what I don't know.
I can't make it make sense because I'm right there with you, and I was dumbfounded when it came across saying Trevor Lawrence got carted off. I'm like, dude, what? Like it was. I mean, it's very unfortunate for T Law, and I know he wasn't having a great season, and it's brutal uh for these fans. But man, I just I don't get it, man. I don't understand it.
Yeah, and I don't want to beat this game to death. You know, that's probably the most we've talked about the Jaguars since we started the podcast. But dude, something needs to be done about the quarterbacks. So these quarterbacks, what they're doing is they're trying to get the most yards they can possibly get. And like from a competitive standpoint, I understand. You know what I mean? Like I do understand that they're
You're
like
playing with
what you're
fire.
trying to do. You're
Yeah.
playing with fire. So those boom boom plays like that, dude, like I'm not gonna blame it on T Law, obviously, but at the same time, dude, like you gotta have some like this dude's coming at me like I need to slide. I need to get down. So like the league with these penalties and stuff, and like I said, it's a blow to the head, blah blah blah. But damn, man, like these quarterbacks are waiting till the last possible second. That's a 240-pound man coming downhill, you know, like,
Yeah.
and it happens a lot, you know. But it's these quarterbacks, they try to get everything out of it, you know, and we talk about it every week with Patrick Mahomes. Somehow he manages to do it, but you know, he'll dance around the sideline and people will go to push him out and he'll take it up 40 yards. Well, you know, one day somebody like Derwin James or something is going to be like, no, screw that. I'm hitting his ass.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be hurt. And everybody's like, oh, he's a dirty player. He's a piece of shit. You know, he should be suspended forever, you know? And no, man, like, he shouldn't be. He's trying to make a play. He has a job to do too. You know what I mean? You can't have this dude running wild on us or, you know, your job is to stop them from getting the first down or getting the touchdown. Like, that's your damn job.
Yeah.
So,
And like you said, the quarterbacks and you notice the more not as athletic quarterbacks, your Russell Wilsons, your Matt Staffords, your Jared Goffs, they slide 2 to 3 yards before they see a person coming. They're like, okay, I'm getting down.
mhm.
But your more athletic quarterbacks are the ones that are playing with the fire. Patrick Mahomes, Caleb Williams, Josh Allen, and they immediately, oh, throw the flag. Whenever he acts like he's gonna slide or he acts like he's gonna step out of bounds and he just tiptoes up the sideline for an extra 30 yards, like that's where I have the issue. Like it smoke him. Like I promise you, he's not gonna do it anymore. And if they throw a ticky tacky bullshit call because of who the quarterback is, so be it, man. Like it is what it is. I promise you, he's not gonna try and tiptoe up that sideline no more.
Exactly. Set the damn tone, man. Set it early, dude.
And I mean, you mentioned Derwin James, and that's the matchup for the night game we got. So, I mean, I don't know. Never say never. Derwin James might light Patrick Mahomes off.
It's possible, dude. Yeah, it's possible. But yeah, that's. that's what I got for this game. I think the Jaguars. Uh, I think they lose to the Titans. I know the Titans have a lot of injuries, but Mac Jones stinks. You
Yeah,
know.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. We got the Raiders and the Buccaneers. Another not great game. There's that line I love though, 6.5. Love that line. Uh, Baker, we've talked about it last week. Baker's playing great with nothing. Kate Otten's been eaten. Mike Evans has come back from that injury and has played very well as well. Raiders are just the Raiders. They're not great. I don't. Should have beat the Chiefs with a unfortunate happening last week with the fumble when they were in field goal range. I don't know, man. I know a lot of people are calling for Aiden O'Connell to be the Raiders' long-term starter, which, I mean, for me, I don't see it. But who knows? Maybe him being in the starting role, he can lock himself in. But the Raiders have issues, bro, and I'm taking the Buccaneers minus 6.5. I mean, it just seems like a no-brainer in that game, and I don't see a world that the Buccaneers lose this game. Especially the Buccaneers need to keep pace with Atlanta. They still have a chance to win this division, which is crazy to think about. But hey, if the Buccaneers can win and Atlanta loses, Buccaneers jump in first place in the NFC South. So for me, I don't have much to say on this game except for Buccaneers minus 6.5. Lock it in.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Bucks going over on the Raiders. Zamir White's out for the Raiders. Alexander Madison's still battling that ankle injury. He's questionable. Jacoby Myers is questionable. Braden O'Connell, man, and their one of their starting corners, Nate Hobbs, is out. But I'm with you on Aiden O'Connell, man. I mean, I don't think he's the long-term solution to their that quarterback for them, but he's still young. I say ride him out the rest of the year. Just kind of see what you got. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tampa Bay is still fighting injuries, man. Just it seems like every week, Tampa Bay is always on the injury report, pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does, man. But they keep winning games, man. Baker Mayfield's playing really good ball right now, and I mean they're getting the job done. So I'm going with the Buccaneers over the Raiders as well.
All right. Got the Steelers and the Browns rematch game. Honestly, the only 1 o'clock game that, other than the Titans or the Vikings Falcons, might be the only 1 o'clock game worth watching. I think that this is a win for Pittsburgh. I do. I don't see. I don't see Pittsburgh losing at home against the Browns, and the Browns haven't won in Pittsburgh since like 2003, which so like 20 years, which is nuts.
Yeah, especially if they play each other twice a year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which one home, one away, but yeah, it's crazy.
Russ had an excellent game last week against the Bengals. And I'm not pounding the table. It's the Cincinnati Bengals defense. They're atrocious. They suck. Just what it is. Jameis Winston had one of them Jameis Winston type games last week.
Yes, he did.
Oh, Jameis. But I will say this. I don't think it's a blowout. I really don't. I know the line is 6.5, and I'm going the opposite side. I'm going Cleveland plus 6.5. For some reason, Pittsburgh always shits the bed against Cleveland. I don't know why. We just nuked on the Bengals, and for some reason we shit bed with Cleveland. So I don't think that we come out and go crazy. Weather's not going to be a factor. Kickoff, it's going to be like 50 degrees. So I think that you're going to see Agent of Chaos, George Pickens, and Newsome going at it. I wouldn't be surprised if George Pickens gets ejected from this game. I love GP. He's an absolute menace. He's a dog. But at the same time, he needs to reel it in. And to see Broderick Jones kind of being like, bro, what are you doing? Chill out. That hats off to Broderick, man, because obviously Broderick had his own issues. But for him to really like trying to be like quote unquote veteran, like reeling them guys in, hats off to him getting the GP, grabbing him and being like, bro, listen, like take a deep breath, chill out. Like there's still a ton of football and we need your ass. And I know George Pickens did show up on the injury report just out of nowhere randomly. But he is good to go. I'm 100% sure he's playing. So he has a hamstring injury, which let's hope that he doesn't majorly aggravate it, because then that puts Van Jefferson as the number one, and that's terrifying. Any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I actually got a few. First of all, the thought of Van Jefferson being the number one over Mike Williams is hilarious, but you're not wrong. So Pittsburgh had a great game last week, top to bottom, against the Bengals. Another one of those games where, dude, Joe Burrow, dude, like this dude puts up so many points and he gets all these touchdowns and makes all these plays, and they lose every single week, dude. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like it in my life, dude. Like, this dude, for weeks, has been doing everything in his power to get this team to win, and they still find a way to lose because their defense is that freaking bad. That, for me, is astounding. But Pittsburgh, man, offensively, like you said, their defense is dog shit, 100%. But Najee Harris had a hell of a game last week. He had a really good game last week. He just ran angry, dude, breaking tackles. I mean, he's
exactly what
load.
We say every week. We say every week, dude. Every single week. He's a workhorse. Feed him the ball.
That's what we talked about last year when he was getting all that flack, and the year before that. Like, it's like, dude, he's not a 10-touch guy that's going to get 80 yards on 10 touches. He's a grinder, bro. You got to get the ball in his hands. You got to let him warm up, and then he wears defenses down, and then he starts running all over them. That's what he does. And he's really shown a lot of progression in the receiving game. Like, he looks fantastic. He's playing really well.
It's going to be unfortunate when he's not in a Steelers jersey next year.
Probably going to be in a Cowboys jersey. But Russell Wilson, I know. Russell Wilson, dude, he played really good. Like I said, their defense does suck. But that was probably Russ's most consistent game. Obviously, it was his best game, but it was probably his most consistent game.
His most complete game, yeah.
Yeah, which is encouraging. He was making all the throws at all the levels, which is something that me and you were kind of
leery on,
skeptical about. Yeah, it's like, well, he's not making these middle of the field throws, but he looked really good. George Pickens looked really good.
Pat Freiermuth is good too, man. Getting him involved.
Yeah, then once they get all them guys involved and they get Darnell Washington going and he gets some space, dude, like their offense is honestly pretty damn high powered. If you're able to get everybody involved and actually put frickin' Mike Williams in the game.
I was just about to say get Mike Williams on the field, he might get involved.
Yeah. So I don't know what the deal is with that behind closed doors, but it doesn't make sense to me. The Browns, though, if you told me to draw a picture of the most Jameis Winston stat line, if you wanted me to describe Jameis Winston 10 years from now when he's out of the league, this is it. This dude, why? There's no reason he should be thrown 58 times, but there was a game script thing. I get it. but
500 yards.
497 yards, 4 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions. That is the most Jameis Winston stat line that you will ever see in your life.
And 2 of them were pick sixes.
2 of them were pick sixes. Yeah, so he had half as many touchdowns to the other team as he did for his own team. Like, that was crazy. So I love Jameis. So, dude, Jameis is awesome. I've been pounding the table for Jameis since he came out of Florida State. I love Jameis, but this is a Jameis stat line. But revenge game for Jerry Jeudy, though, dude. 9 catches, 235 yards, dude.
Oh, my God, did he go off? Holy.
Talk about a revenge game, dude. He came out here swinging. And he's another one, Bama product, that just hadn't lived up to the hype. But this game, he balled out, man. So good for Jerry Jeudy. Still, I think Pittsburgh beats Cleveland, especially if Jameis Winston has a game like he did last week where he's turning the ball over like that and kind of turning the clocks back and being vintage Jameis. Yeah, Pittsburgh's going to – they shouldn't have any issues with the Browns, but that's the thing with Jameis, though, dude. He's a wild card, bro. He's not afraid to take shots, dude. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it don't. But notable injuries in this game, a big one for Cleveland is Jedrick Wells, their left tackle, Roll Tide, is out. And Cedric Tillman, their deep threat, he's still out with that concussion. So 2 possibly big offensive. Juan Thornhill is also out, their safety. So he's questionable.
And one thing I do want to make mention of, too, is, like, the comment that Mike Tomlin made saying when you're playing Shaq, you're going to foul him, talking about T. Higgins and Joey Porter Jr. And I know a lot of people are saying Joey Porter Jr. is a bum, you need to bench him. I don't agree with that at all in any realm. Joey Porter Jr. is the best corner on this defense, and Joey Porter Jr. is pretty locked down. Yes, he's had some big interceptions or big penalties on him that led to scores. So it doesn't show up on the stat line that a touchdown was thrown on him, so it's kind of inflated. But at the same time, Joey Porter Jr. is shutting people down. I mean, it's just what it is, and whether you like it or not, who are you going to put there? Cam Sutton? Like, we already had that experiment once, and we know how that went. I mean,
well, if Cam Sutton's going to be starting, Beanie Bishop now, so.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Beanie Bishop should let him hit that rookie wall. But I really like how they're using Calvin Austin. I think after that week of, like, they were throwing deep balls and jump balls to him, they're like, all right, wait a minute. Let's get this guy on deep post routes and on these, and let him run his routes and get open, and we're going to throw the ball to him. Instead of running him up the sideline whenever you have Mike Williams and George Pickens that can go high point a ball. Like, Calvin Austin isn't that guy, but it seems like they figured it out, and they're running those deep posts with him, and really, it's really paying off. And, I mean, the stretch is coming, man. The stretch is coming for Pittsburgh. After this week, we got the Eagles, we got the Ravens, we got the Chiefs. So here we go. This is going to be the telltale if the Steelers are legit or if they're a fraud. And also, Nick Herbig, for 3 straight weeks, filling in for Smith, has had a strip sack in 3 straight weeks. So that's something to watch out for. I wish he was a little better in the run game, but strip sacks are strip sacks, and those are huge plays. Especially the one last week that got returned for a touchdown. So
I think as he was training with T.J. Watt heavier in the offseason, I think that as he gets more comfortable and more acclimated and everything in the NFL, I think the run support will kind of come with it.
I just think his size is the scary thing.
That was his problem coming out of Wisconsin. He has a very small, lean build, and he doesn't have much frame to like add much more weight. You know what I mean?
Right. But yeah, I don't think Pittsburgh loses this game at home. I don't see it happening. Eagles Panthers. Eagles Panthers. The line's 14. I mean, they're projecting the Eagles to absolutely nuke on the Panthers. And I don't know if I buy it, dude.
I mean, Bryce Young, dude.
Bryce Young's been playing really well, dude.
He's keeping them in the damn game, dude. Like,
They should have beat the Chiefs. They lost a tough one in overtime against the Buccaneers. Chuba Hubbard fumbling. Dude, he's playing well. I mean, there's no doubt. He's not turning the ball over. He's actually seeing the field. He's making the correct reads. 14 points is a lot. And if we were talking about the Lions, I would really take them. I don't think I'm going to touch this game if I'm being honest, because the Eagles' defense is playing very well. But might sprinkle a little bet on the Carolina Panthers to cover the spread of 14, but it's not going to be an official play just because, I mean, it is the Carolina Panthers, and it's the Eagles who are doing exactly what we expected them to do. Finally, they look like a complete team. Not much to say on this game, honestly, dude. It's the Panthers versus Eagles, a juggernaut. It's David versus Goliath, honestly. Anything you want to make mention on this game?
I just wanted to just mention that Philadelphia seems like they finally are getting it together. The young pieces that they've added are starting to really click together. Offensively and defensively, they're looking really good. I'd like to see a little more consistency out of Jalen Hurts throwing the ball, but that's always been something that we've kind of gone back and forth about. I did want to shout out to our boy, man. Everybody was saying, of course, Georgia player's a bust, drafted a bust with Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith is playing really well this year. He's been flying under the radar. I love Nolan Smith, man. And dude, he is. He's lightning fast off the edge. He's another one, kind of like Herbig. You know, he's not the biggest guy, but man, when it comes to getting some heat on the quarterback, man, Nolan Smith, he's getting it done this year. So it's really nice seeing our boy Nolan Smith do good. Coming off a win against Baltimore, obviously a big win. We played like shit. But obviously a big win for Philadelphia. So going against Carolina, I think they beat Carolina, but I think Carolina still keeps this competitive. It's going to be a true test for Bryce Young just because Philadelphia's defense is playing as good as dang near any defense in the league over the last few weeks. So it's going to be a true test for Bryce Young. I don't think that the Carolina Panthers have enough firepower to beat Philadelphia, but I'm not going to get into it. But like we talk about every week, man, Bryce Young's getting it done with really not much around him and as a whole. Adam Thielen had a huge game, though. He had some sick catches in that game.
Yeah, he did. He did.
But, yeah, Adam Thielen had a great game, so I think they keep it competitive more than what people would expect. But, yeah, they just don't have the firepower to keep up with the Eagles.
All right, Jets and Dolphins. Their piss poor game.
Another stinker, dude. God dang. Beginning of the year, dude, we'd be licking our chops at this game.
Yep, 100%. No questions asked.
Going into the season, dude, we gotta watch that Dolphins Jets game, bro. That's gonna be great. Yep.
I mean, what the hell? I don't know. I don't know. Dolphins are favored by 6. I think, honestly, that Aaron Rodgers chalked it up. He's like, screw it. Dude, this is the last 1:00 game, and I'm so glad there's other games on the watch because this game just Tua and the Dolphins went to Green Bay and got nuked on once again. Thought it was gonna be a good game. Thought maybe they would prove everyone wrong.
It's cold out. We're done.
Yeah, they They definitely got nuked on. But they are in Florida this week, so they should be able to get going.
Yeah, I think they beat the Jets, dude. But like the Dolphins are another one of the teams like the Jets. You know, it's like what
What
is
is going
going
on?
on? What is
Yes.
wrong with this team, dude? Like the only person consistently getting, oh my God, it's Johnny Smith. Like Tyreek Hill had a decent game last week, but like it's like what is wrong with this team? I think you're right, dude. I think that Mike McDaniel, I think they might have figured him out.
Yeah, I think Mike McDaniel's has been figured out.
Yeah, where's the creativity with these plays that we've seen last year? Like where's all that? You know, what happened? Like the Dolphins looked unstoppable last year until it got cold.
Yeah.
But they looked unstoppable last year, and then like Tua had the injury and stuff, the concussion again. But I mean, now you guys are relatively healthy. I
And
don't
Tua's
get it.
not playing bad. I mean,
No, Tua's playing well.
I think the Dolphins do win. The Jets are just a piss poor excuse for a football team. They the team. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It doesn't make sense. Aaron Rodgers,
Ooh,
unfortunately, I think he's washed. I know
Sauce
Brees Hall's
Gardner's
out.
doubtful, bro.
Yeah, it's Sauce and Brees, actually.
Yeah, Sauce is doubtful and Brees Hall's doubtful.
So there goes Aaron Rodgers is going to throw the ball 40 times this game, and I don't think it's going to bode well.
Dude, I'll say too, Sauce has been getting a lot of hate this year. But like people need to understand, dude, when your whole defense is playing like ass, it makes you really difficult to just be the guy that still locks down. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
you still need the other phases of the defense to be some remotely um functional, but just as a whole, they're just not doing good because him and Quentin Williams are the stars of that defense, but
Yeah.
as a whole, that defense is just not. They're just out of sorts. I don't know what's wrong with them, to be honest with you. But
That
yeah,
whole
it's not
team.
all on Sauce.
No, it's not. Dude, Sauce is still great. Sauce is still excellent. It he's that this team is just bad. They're in a bad place. I mean, how many wins do they have? 3. I mean, this is a team that really needs to think about not winning another game.
Yeah,
Stay in that high draft pick and just start fresh, man. I don't like the quarterbacks that are coming out this year. Um, so I'd be kind of leery on that, but this team is just they have pieces. They have great pieces. It's just a matter of getting a coach in there that's going to get the best out of his players. For me,
yeah, they need a full revamp.
LSU said, "I feel the Panthers are going to win." He has Bryce Young on his fantasy. Okay, bro, I like it. I like it.
I like it too, bro. Yeah, we love Bryce Young on this channel, man. We do. We've been wanting him to do good for a while now. So yeah, man,
That'd be
I would love
awesome.
to see Carolina beat the freaking Eagles, man. Especially after we lost to the Eagles, dude. Yeah, I would love to see Bryce go out there and have another big game and put up some points, man. I would love it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fun fact: Ashton Genty is 132 yards away from breaking Barry Sanders' record, and he's averaging 190 a game, and he has at least one game left in the college football playoffs. So Ashton might break the Barry Sanders record.
If that dude, yeah, let's talk about that for a second, real quick. If that dude doesn't win the Heisman, dude, that is the biggest joke in sports. I don't give a shit if he plays for Boise State. No, he's not in the SEC or what. I don't care. Dude, the guy is still putting up unbelievable numbers at
Yeah,
the college level, dude. Like,
and I like
he's
Travis Hunter.
unpackable.
It's nothing against
Yeah,
Travis Hunter, and the
no.
Oregon Ducks mascot literally said arguably the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And he said, snap counts aren't a stat. And I was like, you know what? That's actually pretty good. Meaning, just because he plays both sides of the ball don't mean shit. There's not a
No, and Travis
statistic.
Hunter's Travis Hunter. You know.
Yeah, Travis Hunter, he's a baller, dude. I love Travis Hunter. I think he's a dog.
Mhm.
But Ashton Genty, man, this dude is on another level.
Dude, how funny is that? We were talking about that at the beginning of the year. Remember that? You were like, who's the guy you're looking forward to in the draft? And I was like, Ashton Genty, man. I think
Yep.
he's a tank, dude. And he's just going off. Like, this is amazing. So if he doesn't get the Heisman this year, then the Heisman's a joke. It's a
Yeah.
popularity contest if he doesn't get it. Like I
Yep.
said, I don't give a shit that he plays for Boise State. The thing that this man is doing at the college level is remarkable. I mean,
It's one of them
his
things
yards
where
after contact are insane.
yeah, LSU, you're right. LSU just said he told his friend it doesn't matter. He's in the MWC. Genty is building this team. You're 100% right. Boise State is winning game because of Ashton Genty, and they're able to control the clock. I mean, that's just what it is. You're 100% LSU, 100%. Yeah, Dolphins over Jets. Dolphins win. That's just what it is. We do have one good 4 o'clock game. I think could be good. Actually, two. You got Seahawks and Cardinals. Kenneth Walker, obviously, question mark on that. If he's playing, could be a huge blow to the Seahawks. Seahawks seem to have found some resurgence ever since um, they won that game. What was it, 49ers game? Was it the 49ers? I can't
I
remember.
think it was the Niners.
Whenever they just walked off, it was the end of the game, and Gino was like, you know what, I'm sick of this shit. I think it
Yeah,
was
that
the
game was
49ers.
because Gino took over. Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago against San Francisco.
Yeah, because they're on a 3-game win streak. Yep. That's exactly what it was. They went, the 49ers, Gino ran that ball into the end zone at the end of the game, and then they beat the Cardinals and then just beat the Jets. Now they got the Cardinals again. They held that Cardinals offense to absolutely nothing that first matchup. And honestly, the Cardinals are going backwards. We're seeing exactly what we said might happen with Kyler Murray. Maybe he's locked in on Call of Duty, MLG ranked. But Seattle's sitting in first place. The Rams are right there, and Arizona's right there. If Arizona can get the win, they go back up to first place. And if the Rams get the win, every single one of them teams are sitting at 7-6. LSU, thank you for the follow. He asked if we would like Saturday NFL games. I'm not a big Saturday NFL game guy, honestly. I'm not a huge fan. Like, you have your Monday night, your Thursday night. You have the Friday night game that we had for after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Dude, Sundays for NFL. That's how I've always thought. Sunday and Mondays. Then they added Thursday, which is a nice little, like, okay, Thursday night, get to watch a football game. Means the weekend's almost here. It's just, I don't know, too many days, of it.
I like it when college football's over when they have a Saturday game.
Yes, yeah,
Gives you something to look forward to.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
But yeah, Saturday's college football.
Right. LSU said Kyler's not seeing his receivers. Good. Marvin Harrison open. Throw it to him. He said, aim it like your gun on Call of Duty.
Dude, right?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, dude. You're not wrong at all, bro. I love that analogy. That was good. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
mean, at
think
least he got him in the end zone last week, but still,
that is true.
I agree.
Very true. I don't think Seattle loses. I know the Cardinals are favored, but I think Charbonnet will be just fine, even if Kenneth Walker doesn't play, unless Charbonnet's hurt. Is Charbonnet hurt?
I don't think so. I think Charbonnet's healthy.
Okay, so Yeah, I mean, I think that I think the Seattle Seahawks win this game. I do. Their defense is playing very well as of late, which is kind of shocking. Um, but yeah, man, I think the Cardinals are going backwards, and you're going to start to see the fall. I think the Seattle's going to get this win and take control of that division, and Seattle is going to be your playoff team. What's your thoughts on this game?
I'm with Brandon on this one. I think that not having K9 does suck, but I think that with Zach Charbonnet, I I think they'll be fine. Um, and not for nothing either, man. I mean, the Seahawks and the Cardinals are somewhat similar. They can just pop off at any given time, but the Seahawks are more consistent. The Seahawks are way more consistent than the Cardinals, and we talk about it every week with Kyler Murray. You just never know what you're going to get, you know. I don't think the Cardinals win this game. I don't. Yeah, just looking at it. Okay, so they did take DK. Oh, that's what I was looking for. I'm sorry if I'm kind of like dancing around here. I was trying to see if DK. I seen that he was hurt earlier in the week, but he was taken off the injury report, so he's not on there now.
All right, so that's huge. And Jackson
Yeah.
Smith-Njigba's been going off.
Oh, dude, JSN's been balling. Yeah, he's been playing his ass off, dude. It's nice to see. And Tyler Lockett being the veteran and the leader of that team, kind of taking a step back and not pitching a fit, or anything like that. Respect to him.
Yeah,
But if Geno's on top of his game, man, this defense starts to play like we're accustomed to them playing, man. The Seahawks are a very dangerous team. It's just
they're
getting
streaky. They're very streaky.
they're streaky. Yes, yes, they're about as streaky as it comes whenever it comes to a professional football team right now. But yeah, I like Seattle in this game, man. I'm gonna go with Seattle.
I do want to make mention that last week's game, Najee did eclipse the 1,000 yard total yards mark again for the fourth straight season.
He still sucks, bench him.
He had 824 yards rushing and 249 receiving, so he eclipsed it again. And honestly, he's on pace that he's going to get 1,000 yards rushing again if he can have a couple good games again throughout the rest of the season. So let's hope for another 1,000 yard rushing season. I just wanted to make mention of that. I was just thinking about it. LSU asked about Niners or Bears. We'll cover that game next. He said, "Do you think if the Commanders win the Super Bowl, Jaden Daniels could win MVP and Rookie Player of the Year?" Bro, damn, I don't think he can win MVP. After the slump that he had, the couple games in a row that he had against the Eagles, the Steelers, and Cowboys, I think his MVP shot went out the window. Um, Rookie of the Year, I think that he's on pace to win for sure. I think it's a race right now between him and Bo Nix because Bo Nix has really came on strong as of late, and he's playing very well. And let's be honest, the NFL doesn't want to make a rookie the MVP. I mean, it's just what it is, unfortunately.
I agree with that. I agree with what you said too about Bo Nix, man. Bo Nix has been he's really turned it on. Started off a little rocky, man, but he's starting to get comfortable, and you can tell he's back to being how he was in college. He's
Yes.
willing to use his legs now. He's seeing the field. He's making the throws. Like he's Bo Nix is playing really good, man. I think you're right. I think it comes down to those two as far as who's the rookie of the year. It's man. I'm hoping that with the Commanders' win last week, that it kind of jumpstarts this team and they get back to that early season form that we were seeing from them. I hope that that game is what kind of propels them. They get a week to kind of a little bit of break, a little rest, and then hopefully they hit the ground running off the bye.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. 100%. As far as the Niners and Bears, man, this is going to shock a lot of people because I'm not a Caleb Williams fan, but that injury report for the 49ers is brutal. Jordan Mason, Trent Williams, Dre Greenlaw, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, they're hurt. They're hurt bad, and I am taking the Bears plus 3.5. I think the Bears could honestly win this game outright. I know it's
Mm.
shocking, um, very shocking, but I think the Bears have a shot.
I
I
like
have
it though.
they have a shot, man. They really do. With a
Yeah,
banged up San Francisco team, and let's be honest, Brock Purdy isn't 100%.
I like it, bro. I really do, man. I like it. I mean, we talked about this past few weeks. Hell, whenever the week going up against the Bills, and you look at San Francisco's injury report, dude. Every week, I mean,
It just
like
grows.
key players every week. Because I don't. Nick Bosa's listed as questionable. I don't think he's playing. Um, Hopefully they can at least get Hufanga out there. But dude, them injuries they're massive. Um,
Yes. We're not
if
talking about like I don't know. I don't want to downplay any player in the NFL. I mean, they're in the NFL for a reason, but like we're not talking about your slot receiver. I mean, we're talking about your all pro left guard. We're talking about your 1 and 2 running back. Like, I mean, your edge rusher that has been on and off the field all year long. It's been a very unfortunate year for San Francisco. And like I said, Brock Purdy's not 100%. I don't believe he may not be on the injury report, but I think he's banged up still.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's still banged up. Um, I doubt he is now, but if Isaac Orlando is in your free agency, pick him up uh,
Yes.
on your in your fantasy league if you can, if you could spare the parts. You know what I mean? I would. Yeah, I'd probably pick up Isaac Orlando. But yeah, just San Francisco's down bad right now. I mean, they are, and I don't want to sound like bleak or anything, but I mean, Brock Purdy's still young. You know, don't know what we're gonna get with CMC with the injury, but Jordan Mason's young. Still have some pieces, man, but you think that window's closing for San Francisco? That Super Bowl, you know, do you think it's
Bro,
starting to
that
close a little
defense,
bit?
that defense isn't what it was the past couple years. I don't think. And I mean, that staple of the left side, Trent Williams, he isn't getting any younger, and he's starting to gain more injuries. It seems like. So, I mean, bro, I, yeah, I think it is. I think it is slowly starting to close. LSU, I know you don't want to hear that, as you said you're a Niners fan, but bro, I think that window for the Super Bowl contenders and the dominant team that we are used to seeing, I think it's gone, man. And like I'm gonna be honest, bro. A lot of this that I'm going leaning on the Bears. A lot has to do with. I will say this about Caleb Williams. I don't like him. I think he's ass, but he doesn't quit. I
Yeah,
mean, they lost to the Packers by 1 point. They lost to the Vikings by 3 point, and they just lost to Detroit by 3 points. He's he's fighting. I'll give him that. He is fighting.
he is. I think what we're seeing from him is him eating a piece of humble pie in front of the world, basically.
Yes.
Like I think that he's starting to realize, like, okay, I can't do this by myself. I'm not. This isn't college anymore. I can't just
Right.
launch the ball. You know what I mean? Like I have to be decisive and smart with my reads and all that stuff, and know when to scramble. And we're starting to see that from him, which is a positive. I want to see growth out of any player, and I would like to see him have a little more humility and I don't know, develop more as a. He's young, but just be able to develop that personality trait where he's like, you know what, I can't do this by myself. I'm not going to try to do it by myself. I'm not going to try to be the star here. Like, let's just go out and let's just play football. And I think we're starting to see that from him. Physical talent through the roof, but they're like you said, they're keeping these games close, dude. And with San Francisco being as banged up as they are, I'm going to agree with you on that. I think Chicago has a really good chance of beating this team. Um,
Yeah.
and you mentioned too, we talked about earlier in the week, but shout out to Trent man. Trent Williams,
Going through it, bro.
the miscarriage, man. Yeah, the
Yeah,
second one,
yeah, the
stillborn.
stillborn. Yep. Yeah, the stillborn baby. They had twins. They lost one early in the pregnancy, and then whenever his son was actually born, it was stillborn. So, man, shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him and his wife.
It's terrible.
It is terrible.
It's brutal. Especially like I have an 11-month-old son. I couldn't imagine what he's going through right now. So it's very unfortunate. But knowing Trent seems like a dope ass dude. Uh, he'll bounce back. Hopefully they can get pregnant again and they they have the baby they've been looking for. Honestly, man. LSU said he gave his friend a whole lecture on why Ashton should be winning the Heisman, and he said that if Travis Hunter was in the MWC, he would be breaking all the records. I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
But he's not.
Yeah, I mean that's apples to oranges, honestly.
It is. Yeah, I mean, we can speculate all we want, but yeah.
I mean, I can say that if Ben Roethlisberger never had surgery on his elbow, the Steelers win another Super Bowl. Like, I mean, it's just it didn't happen. So, if Tom Brady played for the Baltimore Ravens when Ray Lewis was there, like they could have won 3 Super Bowls. So it never happened. So we will never know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Buffalo versus the Rams. This one's very odd to me, and why Buffalo's only favored by 3.5 points. I would think that Buffalo would be a big favorite in this game, but they're not. And it's in SoFi. Bills like to keep everything in front of them. They don't like giving up that big play. So, if you have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, who had terrible games last week comparably to what they've done all season, I'd load them up. I would load them up because I like the Rams, dude. This is another. I'm taking the Rams 3.5. I think this is a closer game than people think it's going to be. I don't know, man. Something about these damn Rams. They somehow figure out how to be competitive. It didn't look good against the Eagles, and they're winning the games they're supposed to. I mean, they beat the Raiders. They decimated the Vikings. They beat the Seahawks. They beat the Patriots like they should. And they beat the Saints in a tough-fought battle last week. I just think that this is a close game. It could be a field goal game. That's why I like the 3.5. There's no weather advantage because it's in SoFi. The Bills are playing very well. I'm not going to discredit it. They're on a run. They got decimated by Baltimore, and then the following week got beat by the Texans. We thought was a turnaround week for the Texans, and it just so happened that it wasn't. But ever since the Jets game where they almost lost, they have put up 30 points a game and have just beat the living hell out of teams. But it seems like the Bills are shaky against teams that they shouldn't be shaky against. Josh Allen's playing great. Josh Allen seems like he took a step forward this year. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's definitely he's not turning the ball over like he was. Like he's really honed his craft this year.
I mean, 5 interceptions. It's not terrible. And he's not fumbling the ball when he's running either. Because last year it seemed like you kind of held your breath if you were a Bills fan. You're like, oh no, like he might fumble, and it just he seems to be clicking. and I don't know if it's not having to hone in on one receiver and to keep them happy. But I think this is a good game. I really do. I think this could be a very good game as the 4 o'clock game. Are they getting Kincaid back? Do you know?
He's questionable, and Keon Coleman's also questionable.
Okay, so that's huge for that offense if they're good to go.
Yeah, for the Rams, Tyler Higbee is out. They're starting
Okay.
tight end. I think he was out last week as well. I agree with you, dude. I agree with you. The Bills right now, they're clicking.
Yes.
I mean, they're clicking. They right now
They look dominant.
them and Philly, like and obviously Detroit, but they're up there with some of the hotter teams in the league right now. They've been winning games. Josh Allen's been playing really good football. I mean, he's up there with the MVP talks, man. I mean, he is. They're
Yeah.
they're clicking. I mean, the Buffalo Bills are clicking, dude, and then they get these two back, and they get the rookie Dwayne Carter back, a rotational defense tackle. They start getting those pieces back together, man. They could be shit. I think they added Micah Hyde this week too, if I'm not mistaken. He used to play for them.
Yeah.
Neck injuries and stuff have kind of hampered his career as of late, but I believe they signed him to their practice squad, so it's only going to help. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I think Buffalo wins this game against the Rams, but I think the Rams do keep it close because Matt Stafford, he just like Brandon said, he just finds a way just to. They find a way to win, and if they don't win, like you're gonna know they're there. You know what I mean?
And honestly, like Matt Stafford hasn't had a bad year this year. I mean, he's
No.
played fairly well. He almost has 3,000 yards passing, 17 touchdowns on 7 interceptions. But that's like any quarterback in the league. Some of these interceptions, they're bouncing off receivers' hands, and they're not his fault. Like, I think like 4 of Lamar Jackson's interceptions are all because of tipped receiver drops. I don't even think that one of them is like prime example, his interception that he threw against Pittsburgh when Peyton Wilson like ripped the ball out of Justice Hill's stomach. I mean,
That was amazing.
That's not Lamar Jackson's fault.
And that wasn't Justice Hill's fault, dude. That was just Peyton Wilson making an incredible play.
Yeah, an insane play. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Baby Gronk's ball sack is back. He asked Braylon Allen or Rico Dowdle.
Braylon Allen.
Yes, Braylon. Braylon all day. I don't even have to think about it. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think the Rams can keep it close. I think the Bills squeak it out, but I think the Rams can keep it close.
And Rico's defense. Rico didn't have a bad game last week, but
No,
they
he
played
didn't.
the Giants, so.
Rico had a good game. Had a good game. To close out the Sunday slate.
Well, Rico's going against the Bengals.
Yeah, but the Bengals aren't terrible against the run. I mean, Najee carved them up, but they're not the worst. It's not their passing game. I think Dallas is going to throw the ball a lot.
Sad as that is.
Cooper Rush has thrown the ball a lot since he became the starter. I mean, he's averaging like 35 passes a game. And if you're going to keep up with the Bengals, you're going to have to throw the ball. Yeah, I can't. I can't switch. I got to go Braylon. I was trying to talk myself into it with a possibility, but I can't. We got the Chargers and the Chiefs, man. I don't have a ton to say on this game, except for give me the Chargers +4. Chargers might win this. The Chiefs don't scare me. Honestly, the Chiefs do not scare me whatsoever.
No, they don't scare me either, man. Yeah, I'm not really sweating the Chiefs, and I'm not going to watch this game as much as I do like watching the Chargers. Probably not going to watch this game. Man, it is fun watching Derwin James and Travis Kelce go at it.
Yes.
Like, it is. Like every time you watch the Chiefs and the Chargers.
It is a dog fight.
Yeah, man, like they go at it, dude. When he freaking like spine bustered Travis Kelsey that one game, like, oh, dude, like they're just it's fun to watch them go at it. But um, I'm not really, I'm not afraid of the Chiefs either, man. We talk about it every week, dude. It's like I'm not afraid of them. I'm afraid of the guys in the stripes. You know what I mean? I'm not really
Yeah.
as intimidated by the Chiefs as I am, the questionable play call, the questionable calls on the field. So
And we took
I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
earlier. Yeah, I mean, and earlier this year we took the Chargers plus 7.5 against the Chiefs, and it cashed out for us. And we're gonna take the Chargers again and keep it close. Um, I think Justin Herbert is healthy, and it has shown he's really using his legs, and it's really been the change of pace that the Chargers have needed. And he's playing well. He's playing very well. I mean, this man has 13 touchdowns to 1 interception this year. I mean, and he has 2,500 yards passing. It's not like he's not throwing the ball. Like he's playing well.
He's playing very well. They don't have J.K. Dobbins. He's hurt, so that's a big blow to them. But I mean,
And
the
boy,
Chiefs almost
Gus
lost to the Raiders, dude. You know what I mean?
and the Broncos and I mean, the list goes on.
The
Panthers.
Panthers.
I'm not worried about them. They're honestly the most non-scary 11-1 team I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, the Eagles and the Lions scare me way more than the Chiefs do. All right, so we think we both leaning on the Chargers here.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers, man.
Bengals Cowboys Monday night goes out the week. God, this game there might be 80 points scored in this game.
And the Bengals somehow lose.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I think the Bengals win. I think the Bengals get the win this week.
I do. I actually haven't bet on the Bengals all year just because, dude, they've been terrifying. I've bet a bit against the Bengals and it's worked out for me. But I'm going to take the Bengals -5. I think they beat the Cowboys by a touchdown, and I think that you see an offensive explosion again from Joey B. And like we said last week, Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and Saquon Barkley are for me, the three front runner MVP candidates right now. I mean, those three guys, and obviously, it's hard to get a running back because a quarterback touches the ball every single play. But, bro, I mean, Lamar Jackson has 3,290 yards passing, 29 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Joe Burrow has 3,337 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Like, they are almost identical. Literally almost identical. And then if you look at Derrick Henry and Saquon, Derrick Henry literally has he has 83 less yards than Saquon. So, I mean, Joey B and Lamar are the front runners for me. And I do want to make mention that the Lions are on pace to have 2 1,000-yard rushing running backs, which is insane.
Especially in today's NFL. Yeah, that's.
Hey, we said the whole undervalued bullshit and running backs not being valued. Austin Eckler started. Dude, the year of running backs came back with vengeance.
Thank
I mean,
God.
I'm looking at this running back list of yards. Saquon, 1,500, like 1,449. Derrick Henry, 1,407. Josh Jacobs, 1,053. Jahmyr Gibbs, 1,016. Kyron, 926. Chuba, 919. Alvin Kamara 849 or 894. Joe Mixon 887. Bijan 885. Tony Pollard 835. Mr. Allergic to the End Zone. Najee 824. Aaron Jones 820. Jonathan Taylor 804. Like, I mean, Dave Montgomery 771. Jordan Mason 789. Like, I mean, the list just goes on and on of all these running backs that just have gone off. And then here's the running back of all, dude. Lamar Jackson, 678.
Yeah,
Running
he ain't
back,
even running like he used to.
pretty good running back that can throw for 29 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That's a damn good running back to me.
Yeah, people still shit on him, dude. I don't even care anymore. I'm like, dude, he's
It's
like,
hilarious.
if you play for your team, dude, like you wouldn't even you'd be me. You would
You'd be
even be talking
ecstatic.
shit.
Yep.
Yeah, like get the heck out of here.
I do want to say this. It is very impressive that rookie Brock Bowers is
Yes.
top 5 in receiving.
Did you see that, dude? I think Jerry Jeudy got bumped up in the top 5 too after
Yeah.
that game.
Yep, he clipped. He's tied with CeeDee Lamb in the top 5.
Dude, how crazy is one game, dude? 235 yards.
Nuts. It's nuts.
That'll do it.
And then you obviously got Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson sitting top, and Scary Terry below him. But they have a 200-yard lead on Scary Terry, which is, I mean, that's mind blowing. Honestly, mind blowing. Yeah, for me, Bengals -5. I like it. I love it. Any closing thoughts, Steven?
I know they're on a bye week, dude, but I gotta say something. Dude. All right, so the Baltimore Ravens, man, I don't want to draw this out. So the Baltimore Ravens lost to Philadelphia last week. Could have put up more points. Justin Tucker's just, I don't even want to call it a slump at this point. I don't know what to call it. I don't want to call it a case of the yips. I don't know what's going on. He's missing left by feet.
Yes.
And then he tried to compensate for it, and he kicked the freaking ball as far right as humanly possible. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do about this, because if we have any hopes and aspirations of going anywhere in the playoffs, like, we have to score points, and we have to do it off of Justin Tucker or whoever our kicker is. And John Harbaugh said that he's not ready to part ways and find a replacement for Justin Tucker, which, from a moral standpoint, I respect it. I really do.
Yes.
I respect it. I love Justin Tucker, man. Justin Tucker's been with us for years now, and he's been instrumental in a lot of our wins, dude. But, like, another game that we lost, and I don't want to put it all on Justin Tucker. Lamar had a pretty rough game. Like, the box score looks really good, but if you actually watch the game, he was throwing some of them errant throws that he does from time to time, and we got bailed out by 2 big catches from Mark Andrews, where Mark had to climb the ladder and grab the ball out of the air 10 feet. So, not a great game for the Ravens, but just the points, the penalties, the breakdowns, the miscues. Like, we can't do anything. We beat ourselves every week, and if we don't beat ourselves, we keep anybody we play against in the game, no matter what. And it's getting frustrating, man. And when you go against a team like Philadelphia, or a team like Pittsburgh, or a team like I don't want to say the Chiefs, the Chargers, which we beat them, but when you go against teams like that, you cannot afford to make those mistakes, and we're doing them every single week. So hopefully, with the bye week, we actually take advantage of this, and we come out with a different mentality, hopefully a little more discipline penalty-wise. And I got to talk about your boy real quick, Deontay Johnson. Once again, I'm going to try to make this brief.
God.
I didn't want him. Okay? I said this live on here. I don't want him. I don't care that we gave up a 7th-round pick for the dude. I don't care. This dude was a one-year wonder in Pittsburgh. Like,
and if he catches the ball, if
Yes.
if he even catches it, he's running backwards. He's in my opinion, he's the most overrated receiver in the NFL. I really believe that. I've believed that for years. Like I said, he had one standout season with Pittsburgh, one, and I just you can blame it on Ben, you can blame it on Kenny Pickett, you can blame it on whatever, and those are contributing factors. But at the end of the day, dude, he's over freaking rated. Everybody always talks about Deontay Johnson like he's some top receiver in the NFL or something. He's not. Okay? Can we stop this shit? So
Right.
he had a falling out with Baltimore, didn't want to go in the game, and all this other stuff. So he's suspended for one game, blah, 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 blah. We're not talking about T.O., we're not talking about Ocho, we're not talking about Randy, we're not talking about freaking Odell, like in their primes. We're not talking about these players. We're talking about Deontay Johnson, dude. You're not that guy. Okay? So you being a headache, you being a cancer in the locker room and stuff, you're not worth it. So just I want him out. I didn't want him in the first place.
Yeah, I don't.
You know,
I don't understand. Like I thought that, and I listen. I ate my words. I thought it would be a good pickup for them. Add a good veteran presence in that locker room for like just his route running ability as a whole,
yeah,
and it literally it it has not panned out at all.
It hasn't. He's saying that he's frustrated because it's his contract year and he's scheduled for free agency. He wants to da 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 da. It's like, dude, you're not cracking the lineup over Aguilar or even Tylan Wallace, dude. Like, there is a reason. There's a reason, dude. He just he's unmotivated. He doesn't care. You get traded. You go from the bottom of the barrel to the Baltimore Ravens, and now you don't want to play. Now you're unmotivated. Now you're bitching. Now you're crying. Well, guess what? Carolina's been doing pretty good since you've been gone.
Yeah, right.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. You would think they traded their quote unquote number one receiver. He was fighting injuries or whatever, but you would think like that would hurt him. No, they've gotten better. They've gotten better. So screw him, dude. I'm done with Deontay Johnson. Justin Tucker, I love you, man. I'll roll with whatever. I'm not obviously part of the organization, but I'll roll with whatever. I love you, man. I want you to bounce back and get your shit together. But Deontay, I'm done with him.
Yeah, I agree, man. I do agree. I agree 100%. All right, so the
That's all I got.
bets for this weekend: Rams +4, Falcons +6.5, Chargers +4, Browns +6.5, and then for college football today, Georgia +3, Oregon -3. Steven, closing thoughts.
I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the questions and stuff. And we appreciate, honestly, the back and forth stuff, talking about Ashton Genty and the Heisman and all that other stuff. Like, we appreciate it, man. We enjoy that. We enjoy talking about it. We enjoy looking at different scenarios and thinking about individual players and how they go in the fantasy lineups and who we would start and all that. So we appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you for tuning in, and y'all have a good weekend.
All right. Well, that being said, we appreciate everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm glad I put that post out because it seemed like we got some people in here this morning, being an early one. The Facebook Live is also live as well. We had some viewers on there, which was nice to see since it's up and running and everything's going without a hiccup, especially being that this is only the second week, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, thank you everyone. As Steven said, we appreciate you.